What if the decision you're considering right now could dramatically change your quality of life forever? For many seniors, moving into a nursing home feels like the responsible choice, a way to ensure proper care and reduce burden on family and members. But today, I'm sharing a perspective that might save you from years of regret. I'm Thomas from Wisdom of Ages, and after interviewing dozens of nursing home residents, I've uncovered 6 hard truths that most facilities don't want you to know before signing those admission papers. Eleanor, a vibrant 72-year-old former teacher, told me with tears in her eyes, "If I knew then what I know now, I would have fought harder to stay independent." Meanwhile, Richard, at 84, found creative alternatives that kept him thriving in his own community. You see, the nursing home industry has grown into a $166 billion business in America alone. With an average cost exceeding $8,000 per month for a private room, there's significant financial motivation to fill beds. This isn't to say all facilities provide poor care. Many are staffed by dedicated, compassionate professionals. However, the institutional model itself comes with inherent limitations that residents often discover too late. As we age, we all want dignity, autonomy, and purpose. Yet according to a National Council on Aging survey, 89% of seniors express a strong desire to remain in their own homes for as long as possible. So why do so many end up in institutional settings? Often, it's because they, and their families, aren't fully aware of the realities or the alternatives. These next few minutes could be the most important for your future independence and happiness. Let's dive into what you absolutely must know before making this life-altering decision. Truth number 1. Loss of independence happens faster than you think. Meet Martha, who moved to Golden Sunset Nursing Home after a minor fall. She could dress herself, prepare simple meals, and manage her medications with minimal assistance. Just 6 months later, she struggled to do any of these tasks alone. The first week, they insisted on helping me shower for safety reasons, Martha explained. By month 3, I'd forgotten how to operate my own microwave. They do everything for you whether you need it or not. This phenomenon has a name: learned helplessness. According to a 2022 study in The Gerontologist, seniors who move to facilities offering excessive assistance experience a 40% faster decline in independent living skills compared to those receiving only necessary help. What many don't realize is that nursing homes operate on efficiency models. With limited staff managing numerous residents, it's simply faster to do things for residents than to wait while they do things themselves. This efficiency-first approach might work for running a business, but it can devastate a senior's functional abilities. Dr. Elizabeth Morrison, geriatric specialist at Columbia University, explains, "We see significant functional decline within just 90 days of admission to many facilities. Once lost, these skills are extremely difficult to recover, especially for those over 75. Independence is like a muscle. Use it or lose it. The psychological impact can be equally damaging. When others constantly take over tasks you've handled your entire life, your self-confidence erodes rapidly. Many residents begin to identify as patients rather than autonomous individuals. A subtle but profound shift in self-perception that often leads to depression and withdrawal. Compare this to George, who chose an assisted living community that emphasized independence. Staff there encouraged him to do as much as possible himself, only stepping in when truly needed. 3 years later, George maintained nearly all his self-care abilities and even learned new skills in the community workshop. The staff here understand the difference between helping and taking over, George explained. They give me the extra minute I might need to button my shirt rather than just doing it for me. The fix. If you're considering a nursing home, look, specifically for facilities with independence programs, where you're evaluated regularly and encouraged to maintain skills. Ask direct questions like, how will you help me maintain my independence? And what percentage of residents improve in functional abilities after arriving? Request to see actual care plans that demonstrate graduated assistance. Plans that show how staff provide only the minimum help needed and adjust as residents improve. Look for facilities that measure and reward resident progress rather than just compliance with care routines. When visiting, observe whether current residents are doing things for themselves or if staff members are handling tasks residents could manage independently. Pay attention to small details. Are residents opening their own milk cartons and cutting their own food? Or are staff members automatically doing these tasks? These seemingly minor observations reveal much about the facility's approach to independence. Truth number 2. Your social circle shrinks. Dramatically, before moving to Peaceful Pines nursing home, Judith had a vibrant social life, weekly bridge club, church activities, and regular coffee dates with neighborhood friends. I thought moving somewhere with dozens of other seniors would expand my social opportunities, she said. Instead, I found myself more isolated than ever. What happened? Several factors created this unexpected isolation. Distance from established. Friends who gradually visited less frequently. Limited transportation options to community events. Difficulty finding residents with similar interests and cognitive abilities. Institutional schedules that disrupted natural socializing patterns. A longitudinal study from the University of Michigan found that nursing home residents experience a 60% reduction in their social network diversity within the first year, meaning they interact with fewer types of people and have less varied conversations. Contrast this with Harold, who opted for a senior co-housing arrangement. He maintained his existing friendships while forming new ones, participated in community events, and continued his volunteer work at the local library. His mental health scores actually improved after his transition. The fix. If nursing home care is necessary, look for facilities that are located near your existing social connections, provide reliable transportation to community events, offer internet access and technology support for virtual connections, schedule regular excursions to public spaces, welcome family members to participate in activities, not just visit before committing. Ask to attend several different activity sessions to assess if you connect with current residents. Also request their visitor policies in writing. Some facilities have restrictive hours that can limit your social connections. Truth number 3. Financial control. Often disappears. Dorothy had managed her own finances for 70 years. Prudent investing had grown her modest savings into a comfortable nest egg that she'd planned to leave to her grandchildren. 6 months into her nursing home stay, she discovered the facility had become her financial representative payee. Suddenly, I needed permission to spend my own money, Dorothy explained. When I wanted to buy my grandson a $100 graduation gift, I was told it exceeded my discretionary spending limit. What many seniors don't realize is that nursing homes often gain significant control over residents' finances, particularly for those on Medicaid. A 2023 Consumer Reports investigation found that 68% of nursing home residents reported having less financial autonomy than they expected. Meanwhile, Bernard chose a continuing care retirement community with transparent financial policies. He maintained full control of his assets while receiving necessary care, even setting up a small investment club with fellow residents. The fix. Before signing any contracts, Have a trusted financial advisor or elder law attorney review all paperwork. Create clear financial powers of attorney that specify your wishes. Ask directly about policies regarding residents' financial independence. Consider setting up a small personal account that remains entirely under your control. Understand exactly which costs are covered and which require additional payment. Most importantly, explore alternatives like in-home care services that might allow you to maintain both your independence and financial control while receiving necessary assistance. Truth number 4. Medical care can be less personalized. Sarah had developed a wonderful relationship with her family doctor of 30 years. Dr. Jameson knew her medical history intimately, understood her preferences regarding medications, and respected her wishes to try conservative treatments first. Within weeks of moving to the nursing home, I was on 3 new medications I'd never taken before, Sarah recalled. When I questioned one that made me dizzy, the rotating physician who saw me for all of 5 minutes said it was standard protocol for someone my age. This loss of personalized care is common. A study in the Journal of the American Medical Directors Association found nursing home residents see an average of 7 different physicians in their first year, often with minimal continuity of care. Many facilities prioritize standardized protocols over individualized treatment approaches. Compare this with Robert, who used a concierge medical service that coordinated with his home health aides. His longtime physician remained his primary care doctor, visiting him at home and managing his overall care plan. Robert maintained both his health and his dignity. The fix: if nursing home placement is necessary, request that your existing primary care physician can continue seeing you. Ask about telehealth options to maintain relationships with specialists. Bring a complete medication list with notes about past reactions. Designate a healthcare proxy who understands your preferences. Request copies of all medical records and care plans. Schedule regular care conferences with the medical director. Remember, you have the right to question medications and treatments. Facilities receiving Medicare funding must respect patient rights to participate in care decisions. Truth number 5. Daily schedules become institutional, not personal. James had always been a night owl. His most productive hours were between 8 p.m. and midnight, when he enjoyed reading, writing letters, and watching documentaries. For breakfast, he preferred just coffee, saving his appetite for a larger lunch. The nursing home ran like a military operation, James explained. Lights on at 6 a.m., breakfast at 7 sharp, activities at 9. By 8 p.m., they expected everyone in bed, exactly when I was mentally most alert. This rigid scheduling is rarely about optimizing resident well-being. Rather, it maximizes staff efficiency and institutional operations. A 2023 survey by the National Consumer Voice for Quality Long-Term Care found that 78% of residents reported having little or no input into their daily schedules. Meanwhile, Evelyn chose a progressive care home with person-centered scheduling. The facility adapted to her preferences, serving her breakfast at 10 a.m., scheduling her therapy sessions in the afternoon when she had more energy, and respecting her desire to stay up until 11 p.m. The fix: when touring facilities, ask pointed questions about schedule flexibility. Can residents choose when to wake up and go to sleep? How are meal preferences accommodated? Can activities be accessed throughout the day rather than at set times? How do you handle residents with different energy patterns? Look for places that use terms like person-centered care or resident-directed scheduling, but don't just accept the marketing. Ask to speak with current residents about their experiences with schedule flexibility. Truth number 6. Environmental stimulation drastically decreases Patricia had led a rich, sensory-filled life. She tended her garden daily, feeling the soil between her fingers. She cooked with fresh ingredients, filling her home with delicious aromas. Her neighborhood walks exposed her to changing seasons, children playing, and spontaneous conversations. The nursing home felt sterile in comparison, Patricia said. The same beige walls, the same recycled air, the same bland food. After 3 months, I felt my mind getting foggy from the monotony. This sensory deprivation is surprisingly common. Research from the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health demonstrates that nursing home environments typically offer 70% less sensory variety than independent living. This reduced stimulation directly impacts cognitive function and emotional well-being. Contrast this with Henry, who moved to a small group home with daily access to outdoor spaces, cooking activities, and regular community outings. The varied stimulation helped maintain his cognitive abilities and emotional health. The fix. If institutional care is necessary, look for facilities that offer accessible outdoor spaces used daily, not just occasionally, cooking programs where residents participate in meal preparation, regular excursions to varied community locations, diverse activities that engage multiple senses, opportunities to interact with different age groups, windows with natural views rather than parking lots before committing. Spend several full days at the facility, including weekends, to observe how stimulating the environment truly is across different times. Alternatives. Worth exploring. Before concluding that a nursing home is your only option, consider these alternatives that many seniors find more satisfying. PACE programs, Program of All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly. These provide comprehensive medical and social services while allowing seniors to remain at home. PACE participants typically receive primary care, therapy services, medications, social activities, and even transportation, all coordinated by an interdisciplinary team focused on keeping you independent. The average PACE enrollment costs less than nursing home care while offering more personalized attention. James, an 81-year-old with Parkinson's disease, attends his local PACE center 3 days weekly for physical therapy, doctor visits, and social activities. The other days, they come to me, he explains. A home health aide helps with my morning routine, but I'm still in my own house with my dog and my garden. Co-housing communities, independent living units with shared common spaces and cooperative support systems. These intentional communities combine private homes with extensive common facilities. Residents typically share several meals weekly, participate in governance, and look out for one another while maintaining their own living spaces. Margaret, 76, moved to a senior co-housing community after her husband passed away. We each have our own private home, but we share meals 3 times a week and take turns organizing activities. When I had knee surgery, neighbors brought me meals for 2 weeks and helped with grocery shopping. It's independence with a safety net. Accessory dwelling units, small secondary homes on a family member's property that maintain privacy while providing proximity for support, often called granny flats or in-law suites. These separate living spaces allow for autonomy while keeping family close for emergencies or regular assistance. Robert and his wife built a 650 square foot cottage in their daughter's backyard. We have our own entrance, kitchen, and living space, Robert explains, but our grandchildren are just across the yard. We maintain our independence while being close enough that our daughter can check in easily. Home modifications. Care services. Adapting your existing home with technologies and periodic professional care. Modern home modifications can address most mobility and safety concerns walk-in showers, stair lifts, widened doorways, smart home technologies, and emergency response systems. Doris received a home assessment from an aging-in-place specialist who recommended specific modifications. With a stair lift, bathroom renovations, and automated lighting, she continued living in her two-story home despite mobility challenges. A home health aide visits 3 mornings weekly, and she uses grocery and meal delivery services. The renovation cost less than 3 months in a nursing home would have, she notes. Naturally, occurring retirement communities, NORCs, neighborhoods with high concentrations of seniors who share services and support. These communities haven't been designed specifically for older adults, but have naturally evolved to include many seniors. They often develop supportive service programs to help residents age in place. David lives in an apartment building where over 60% of residents are seniors. The building management partnered with a local agency to establish an on-site social worker, weekly health clinics, and a robust volunteer network. We created a system where residents check on each other daily, David explains. We even have a shared transportation program for doctor appointments. Village movement model, membership-based organizations that connect seniors with services and social activities. Villages aren't physical places, but networks of older adults in a geographic area who pool resources to access services and support. Helen pays $400 annually to belong to her local village. This gives her access to vetted service providers, often at discount, transportation assistance, social events, and a network of volunteers. When I need my gutters cleaned or a ride to the doctor, I make one call, she says. It's like having a concierge service for aging well. Alice was certain she needed nursing home care after her stroke, but after exploring options with a geriatric care manager, she discovered a PACE program that provided all her medical needs, while allowing her to remain in her cherished home of 40 years. My care manager knew options I'd never heard about, Alice recalls. She helped me understand that nursing home care should be the last resort, not the default. Making the right decision for your situation. I want to be absolutely clear. Nursing homes do serve a critical purpose for those with complex medical needs requiring 24-hour skilled nursing care. If you or your loved one has advanced dementia, needs frequent medical interventions, or requires specialized care that cannot be safely provided at home, a nursing facility may indeed be the appropriate choice. Dr. William Chen, geriatrician and author of Aging with Dignity, explains, about 15 to 20% of seniors genuinely need the level of care only a nursing home can provide. The problem is that approximately 40% of current residents could thrive in less restrictive environments with proper support systems. If you determine that a nursing home is truly the best option, here are strategies to mitigate the challenges we've discussed. Visit frequently and at varying times. Residents with regular visitors typically receive better care and maintain stronger cognitive function. Join the Family Council. These groups give families a collective voice in facility operations and care standards. Maintain connections outside the facility. Schedule regular outings when possible, and bring familiar objects from home to personalize the environment. Advocate persistently but respectfully. Document concerns. Know residents' rights and establish relationships with key staff members. Consider a partial week arrangement if possible. Some facilities now offer 3 to 4 day stays with remaining days at home, providing necessary medical care while preserving home connections. As Charles, a former nursing home administrator, told me, the residents who maintain the highest quality of life are invariably those with engaged family members who visit regularly and participate actively in care planning. Conclusion: the decision about your living situation is among the most consequential choices you'll make in your later years. While nursing homes serve an important purpose for those requiring intensive medical care, they often come with significant compromises to independence, social connection, and quality of life. I encourage you to approach this decision with eyes wide open, exploring all alternatives before concluding that a nursing home is necessary. Remember Eleanor's tearful admission. "If I knew then what I know now, I would have fought harder to stay independent." The most successful aging plans typically involve a graduated approach, starting with the least restrictive options and adding services incrementally as needs change. This might mean beginning with home modifications and technology solutions, adding in-home care as needed, and considering more supportive environments only when absolutely necessary. Many families tell me they feel pressured to make quick decisions during health crises. Resist this pressure whenever possible. Hospital discharge planners and social workers often present nursing homes as the safest option, but they may not be familiar with the full range of alternatives available in your community. Request a consultation with a geriatric care manager who can present all options relevant to your specific situation. Remember that your needs and preferences matter tremendously. As Viktor Frankl wrote, "The last of human freedoms is to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Even if health challenges limit some choices, you retain the freedom to shape your aging journey in meaningful ways." If you found this information valuable, please help others in similar situations by sharing this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to Wisdom of Ages for more essential senior living insights, and comment below with any alternatives you've discovered or questions you have about maintaining independence as you age. Your later years should be characterized by dignity, purpose, and joy, not institutional regimen. With proper planning and awareness of these 6 hard truths, you can make choices that truly support your well-being and independence. This is Thomas from Wisdom of Ages, reminding you that wisdom comes not just from living many years, but from living them well. Before you go, take one simple action today. Download our free Nursing Home Alternatives checklist from the link in the description. It contains 15 questions to ask before making any senior living decision, plus resources for finding help in your specific area. Next week, we'll be interviewing Sarah Jenkins, a geriatric care manager who specializes in creating customized aging plans that maximize independence. She'll share specific strategies for accessing services many seniors don't realize are available. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss this important conversation. And if you know someone facing this decision right now, sharing this video could be the most important gift you give them this year. Your simple act of sharing could be the difference between someone spending their final years in an institution versus aging with dignity in a setting that honors their autonomy and preferences. Until next time, stay wise and live with purpose.